Jackson, and this is a cyber aware program. It's a brand new program to the community that aims at giving the help that the community needs. I'm a cybersecurity consultant and cybersecurity professional, an IT engineer as well. I've been in the business, I've been in the profession for about 20 years. I have decided actually to offer some of my the tips to the community that could help them because of what I've actually seen in the industry myself currently, and also based on a lot of people that have been actually asking me a lot of questions regarding the safety of online services. So I've decided actually to create this program called the Cyber Aware. Cyber Aware is a program where I'm going to give tips or news regarding the cyber security, things that news and also tools, and also the guidance that actually the community can help themselves. It's a free service that I'm offering, and I'm translating this from my actual experience after I've been involved in cyber security events, for the past 20 years. So in this first instance of the video, I'm going to give you just about 10 top cyber security tips that you need to take to be aware of. As you know, hacking, phishing, and malware incidents are becoming #1 cause of security breaches today. But what's more troubling, these days is that hacking attempts are the result of human errors, in some way. So it's very, very important, I think, to place, emphasis on education. Education and awareness are critically important in the fight against cyber criminal activities and preventing cyber security breaches. Just this year, I can give you a little bit of some statistics here. We've had a lot of lost or improper disposal of information at 6%, and internet theft at 31%, vendor breaches at 14%, and external theft about 17%, and individual mistakes about 24%. And then you've got phishing and hacking, which is about 31%. So these statistics actually shows that there is a problem, in our community. There is a problem in our society. So that's why I've taken this initiative, because on a day-to-day basis, I fight cybersecurity criminals myself, on my business as a cybersecurity consultant. I help a lot of organizations, who are trying to make their businesses or their data actually secure. So I've decided actually to extend this actually to the general public, the society. And you can watch this actually through my YouTube channel, which is actually Zunda channel, where I do offer these advices and tips to the young people, particularly who want to get into the profession as well. So this is just one of those things that I'll be running now, what is called Cyber Aware, or Cyber Aware, that will give tips to the young people. So today, sit quietly and probably watch as you, see some of the, as you listen actually to some of the tips that I've prepared for you today. Thank you. Welcome to Zunda channel. Today on the Cyber Aware, we're going to look at 10 top tips that you need to know, in order to stay secure online on your devices. These scripts have been developed. Actually, I developed this script from my experience in managing millions of security events for businesses and professionals worldwide. So I've decided actually to come up with these security tips that can actually help the general public and yourself. And this is in line with some questions and
that I've actually received from various sectors of our society. That's in the personal and also sometimes actually on businesses. So as a cybersecurity consultant myself, and I think I've decided to make it fit because it can help a lot of people to put up this video so that at least maybe some of these tools can help somebody out there, or some of these tips can help somebody out there so that they can stay safe. As you are aware, cybersecurity is one of the main things that now there's a lot of attacks going on worldwide at that moment. Mobile phones are being attacked, are being hacked. Businesses are being hacked, homes are being hacked. So I think it's imperative that people take in charge of their own personal security seriously. So that's why I've decided to come up with this video so that it can help at least one person out there. And there's a law that is named after a certain famous bank robber. He was actually called Willie Sutton, who was actually caught robbing banks at some point a long time ago. Now, one of the reporters has asked me a question, why do you rob banks? His answer was, because that's where the money is. That was his answer. So Sutton's law states that when confronting a problem, the most obvious solution should be applied first. It's used in medicine, philosophy, computer programs, and then it's also now applies to cybersecurity. So the question is, where is the money? Big banks' days are over. You no longer put money in the coins actually in the big bank at home. And most of us do our transactions online now. When you want to see how much money is in your bank account, you just pull your mobile phone, go to your app, access it, check your balance, see what is there. Whether you've got zeros, you've got $1 million in your account, £1 million in your account. So we are using online banking as of now. If you want to have services, access to, like accessing services from the government, trying to get maybe applying for the passport, trying to get medical records and so forth. So we all use online to go and get these services. So now, based on this, that's why I've decided actually to come up with this video to see if I can help at least even one person. Now, the first tip that I'm going to give you out of the 10 is that you have got to make sure that your software is up to date. So make sure your software, either on your laptop, on your desktop, on your mobile, on your server, on your router at home, the Wi-Fi, or on your actual routers at work, on your switches. Make sure these are all up to date and they have got the current time. They've got the current patch, the current secured patch that has been released by the manufacturer. If you miss this, you're actually allowing your device actually to be vulnerable. So I've seen this actually with my own eyes. Companies being hacked and companies being negligent. As a result, they stay vulnerable. I'm a hacker myself, and first of all, we look at the vulnerable systems. When you want to access certain organizations' information, the first thing we do is actually send what we call a recognition. And if they send this recognition and find that your system is weak, that actually allows that gives a passage to hackers or attackers actually to access your information. So, like I said, I'm a trained hacker, but I work on the other side doing anti-hacking. When you're hackers, I come in and hack the businesses for people or your systems that have been hacked. So I'm giving you this information as an insider who is also outside. So I'm giving you both sides of the coin so that you understand exactly what goes on. That's why it's very, very important for you to make sure that your software is patched and they stay patched, and make sure that your updates are set to automatic updates, so that whenever the manufacturer releases, the manufacturer or developer releases new patches, security patches on your business, on their devices, your business or your device will be completely automatically. You don't have to do any of it. Right. So number 2, we have to make sure that you have antivirus protection, or firewall actually on your devices. So there are so many antivirus that one can use. There's Symantec, there's McAfee, there's Sophos, there's many others like WebRoot, which people are using in different organizations, and even in a personal capacity in your home, on your home network. So you make sure that you've got an antivirus running on your machine. And also, if you have got a router, make sure your router is actually enabled to run in the firewall mode. This will help to screen, or actually to help to stop, malicious, packets coming into your business or coming into your home. This is very, very important. And actually, today's laptops like MacBooks or Windows 10, they come with their own firewall, which you just need to enable, or they actually come in as a default, most of the time. But if it's not, make sure you check on your system, and if it's not, make sure you update it and have an antivirus, or enable the firewall as well at the same time. So using a firewall is also very, very important when defending your data against malicious attacks. A firewall helps to screen out attackers, viruses, and malicious activities that occurs over the internet, and determines what traffic is allowed to enter your device. So that's why it's very, very important to have a firewall enabled on your device. Number 3, we're going to look at using the strong passwords. It's very, very important that you use a strong password, or use a password management tool that actually can help you, to create strong passwords that cannot be hacked. Passwords are very easy to crack, and I can tell you the truth. We in the cybersecurity industry, we've got very, very strong tools that can actually crack any password. So do not be cheated. We have got tools, which we use to crack, password everywhere. You can crack it. So make sure you use very, very complicated passwords. So any simple password can easily be cracked. Okay. So the principle actually of the password is that don't use the same password twice. Just use one password at a time. The password should contain at least one lowercase, one uppercase, one number, and 4 symbols, but not the following symbols: the and sign, percentage, the hash key, and @ Don't use these, because these are common symbols which somebody can easily guess. And you can also choose something that is easy to remember, and then never leave a password hint out in the open market, because or open air rather, because it can easily be cracked. Somebody can easily get it and use it. And then also reset your password when you forget it, but change it once per year as a general rule. But in a business environment, make sure that your password is changed at least maximum of 90 days. I do encourage actually people or businesses where I do consult, as a cybersecurity consultant, to make to ensure at least passwords are changed automatically from 60 days to at least to 90 days. So within that period, you either choose 75, choose 80 days, that password has to be reset or changed rather. So the other thing you need to know, number 4, is use of the two-factor or what we call the multi-factor authentication. Two-factor or multi-factor authentication is a service that adds additional layers of security to standard password method for online identification. Without multi-factor authentication, you should normally enter a username and a But with two multi-factor authentication, it will ask you an additional question, like, send a code to your mobile phone, to your email address, asking you to enter that code as the next step to verify, to make sure that it's you who is actually trying to log in. It's not somebody else out there who's trying to log into your machine, or to your device. So make sure that the two-factor authentication is actually enabled on the device. It's actually it's a general practice these days online. Most of the organizations are asking you to two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication enabled. So make sure that this is in line as well. And number 5, learn about phishing scams. Be very suspicious of emails, phone calls, and flyers that are actually coming through either your emails or through your phone. So phishing attacks are very, very common. In a phishing scheme attempt, the attacker poses as someone or something that the sender is not to trick the recipient into divulging credentials, clicking a malicious link. If you see a link coming through to your email which you don't know, please do not click on it. Delete it straight away, because that will actually be a phishing attack that is coming through. Recently I did run a survey to one of the organizations to check how people treat phishing email attachment. You may be surprised actually that a lot of people actually did click on the links. Lucky enough, it was just a pseudo one which I was just testing to see if they actually how this organization users behave when they're actually working, when they receive an email. So it's very important also to make sure that you understand how these actually phishing works. So a few important cybersecurity tips to remember about phishing schemes include: number 1, bottom line, don't open email from people you don't know. Do not open them. Don't. Okay? And number 2, know which links are safe and which one are not. However, a link to discover where it directs you. So you can hover over the link. Don't click on it, hover it and see where it directs you. It's very, very important to hover and see where it's going. So, and number 3, be suspicious of emails sent to you in general. Look and see where it came from. And if there are grammatical errors, don't delete it straight away. Don't click on it. Just delete it straight away. Alright, and number 4 is malicious links can come from friends who have been infected too. So be extra careful. Some of the emails have been hijacked, or credentials have been keylogged, where credentials have been stolen, and they can use your friend's email in order to send malicious links to you, thinking that is all your friends that you know, so that you can click on them. So please be very, very careful when you are clicking some of these links, okay, which are coming from your friends. And in number 6, protect your sensitive personal information, what we call the PII. It's very, very important. PII includes information such as name, address, phone numbers, data, date of birth, social security number, IP addresses, location details, or any other physical digital identity data that actually can be identified. Things like your credit cards, information should be protected by companies if they follow the PCI or DSS standards. These are standards that are used in the banking industry. The PCI and DSS, normally your bank actually will be able to protect you on this. So in the new always on world, where everything is always on, your mobile is always on, always being pushed in, you receive a lot of notifications from your social media, from your emails, you should be very, very cautious about the information you upload online. It's recommended that you only show the very minimum about yourself on social media. So consider reviewing your private settings across all your social media devices, or social media accounts, particularly Facebook, adding your home address, birthplace, birthday, or any other PII information dramatically actually increase your chances of being vulnerable and your data being stolen. So hackers use this information to take advantage of you. Okay, now number 7. So use your mobile device securely. According to McAfee, which is one of the providers of antivirus, McAfee Labs, your mobile device is now a target to more than 1.5 million new incidents of mobile malware. Have you heard that? Your mobile device is a target, by malware, by attackers, So here are some of the quick tips for mobile device security. Create a difficult mobile passcode. Not your birthday or your bank PIN, And number 2, install apps from trusted sources. So make sure some of these apps that you see, are being sold, either on a Apple Store or Google Store or Google Play Station. Be very, very careful. Some of them are not good at all. They can actually put your device in a way that is exposed to attack. Okay, so keep your device updated. Hackers use vulnerabilities in unpatched order, operating systems. So make sure, particularly those guys who are using Android. Android is the most vulnerable, device that you can, operating system on the device that you can actually use. And make sure this is actually completely updated. If you update it regularly, then you should be okay. Otherwise, most of the culprits I've seen, particularly on mobile phones, they are Android users. They don't update their devices. You find that is updated. If you remain in that, you remain that type of person, you leave yourself actually vulnerable, because attackers, they are always screening, sending recons to check which mobile is the operating system. It's very, very important that you make sure that these your mobile phone is actually patched. Right, and then you can also you need to avoid sending PII or sensitive information over text messages or email. Don't send these. It's very, very important that these are kept private. Emails or text messages can actually be bad. Somebody can steal that information from your text. So perform regular mobile backups using iCloud or enabling backup or sync from Android. So make sure that you have these updated regularly or backed up on your mobile. And now we come to number 8, which is back up your data regularly. Backing up your data regularly is an overlooked step in personal online safety, or online security. The top IT and security managers follow a simple rule called 3-2-1 backup rule. This is the rule that we follow. Essentially, you keep 3 copies of your data on 2 different types of media, local and external hard drive, and 1 copy in an offsite location, what we call, or the cloud storage. So if you become a victim of ransomware or malware, the only way to restore your data is to release your system and restore with a recent performed backup. And I've seen companies being hacked, taken ransom. hackers demanding that the company actually pays them a lot of money. Sometimes it's $1 million, £1 million, or £500, £500,000. You know, these are the type of the money that I've seen. I'm speaking now as somebody who works in cybersecurity. Some of these cases are not reported in the media, but as a cybersecurity consultant, I've helped a lot of organizations, you know, who have been taken, who've been taken ransom by, you know, by the hackers. You know, so I've helped them to delete some of their data and then restore them, reset the business back to normal. It's costly, but you know, it helps at least to make sure that the business comes back to normal, other than, you know, paying, you know, paying the ransom that is being demanded by the attacker. So it's very, very important actually to use the backup rule, 3-2-1, 3-2-1. Back up 3 copies of your data, 2 different sites, you know, and 1 local, and external as well, and then 1 cloud storage. So very, very important as well. If you become a victim, very easy, you know, or not very easy at least, is a victim of ransom, you can use one of the backup copies that you have in order to restore your data and back to business. Right, and number 9, this is one of the critical, and also that is actually making many people vulnerable. And this is Wi-Fi. Do not actually use public Wi-Fi without a VPN. So it's very important that you use your VPN connection when you're in public places. Do not connect, you know, your device to, you know, Wi-Fi, public Wi-Fi, like in the airports, on the bus stations, or in the, you know, train stations, you know, or in the cafe, you know, where you go and get your food, or in the restaurant, you know. Do not use those. They are very, very vulnerable. You know, at some point I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. As a hacker myself, if I sit somewhere, I can easily see, you know, how many vulnerable devices are there using certain tools that hackers use. So please, my advice to you is that do not connect to you know, public Wi-Fi. That is without using VPN. It's very, very important. You know. Okay. So number 10, which is the last tip, review your online accounts and credit reports regularly for changes. You know. So make sure that you review all your accounts, you know, online and see what has changed. You know. Whether someone has actually, you know, breached, you know, the rules, accessed, you know, your account somewhere. It's very, very important. So as well, you know, do your credit check reports as well. Normally, you know, credit companies, credit score companies, these days can provide you with an alert. You know, you can set up an alert as well actually when there's you know, changes to one of your online accounts. So things like impersonation or scams, you know, can appear, you know, on your credit scoring company. So if you set that as well, that can actually be an added advantage. It will alert you when something changes in one of your online accounts. So I hope this actually will help you guys, you know, to stay secure on you know, on cyber aware, you know, to the community that I'm trying to help. I'll come back again at some point with the other, you know, tips that can actually help you to stay safe. But for now, I want to leave you, with these tips. And please, if you have got any comments or any concern, you can easily get in touch with me through our Zunda channel. Zunda channel is a YouTube channel where we do run various activities, you know, where we help the young people, you know, getting into professions. So you can either get in touch through that, or you can as well, you know, hunt for me somewhere, LinkedIn, available as well. Thank you very much. Yes, this has been Cyber Aware for the community. My name is Jackson. Bye for now.